Speaking raw wisdom through the storm and the gale. Every harsh word, a dagger that cuts, slice through the silence, breaking the ruts. No sugarcoating, no softening the blow. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. Voices echoing darkness, where honesty dwells. Aaron drops knowledge, casting his spells. Feelings are fading, lost in the fray. If you can't handle it, step out of the way. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. So brace yourself tight, prepare for the quake. Aaron had to say it, the truth won't break. Yeah, the truth won't break.
I had to say, or else it would just go unsaid. Yeah, I had to say, or else it would just go unsaid. If you didn't get it from me, you'd hear it from some newsman instead. I may cuss and yell, but I know what I say is right. You know what, I will fucking yell, but I know what I say is right. So long as the world be fucking shit up, I'ma yell into this mic. Left or right, don't matter, I will call you on your shit. I said left or right, don't fucking matter, I will call you on your shit. If you're the side that fucking up, the gorilla's gonna deal with it. Yeah, I had to say it, or else it will go unsaid. Yeah, I had to fucking say it, or else it will just go unsaid. If you didn't hear it yelled at the top of my lungs, you got fed a crock of shit instead.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. So we're going to start out as we do by saying to Iceman, Jason, Javier, Fitz, McShane, El Jefe, El Devil, and El Morte, to the guys from the World Report, to Billy G, to Walt from the B-Rock Podcast, to Kate, the Duchess of New Jersey, to Boomer Bob, to George Fonts of the World of Blaze Podcast, and to our most newest supporter, Josh. Thank you guys for the continued support. It means the world to me. Yeah, I actually checked my notes today because I want to make sure I didn't fuck up. Taking those off because I don't need to hear myself monitored since it's just me talking. So... anyway, it's been another week. It's another interesting week. One thing I'm going to kind of address, I started early today. I know I can't get the timing down consistent on this thing. First it was 7 o'clock, but then I tried to push it back because we were interfering with the Boomer Bunker, just because I don't want them to have to rush. And, I like that when Kate and sometimes John, but John's usually busy editing the episode. But, there's always the chance that we'll get some viewers from over there to come over here. So I decided to start pushing the episodes back to 7:30, which is what I keep telling people. But on the other hand, it's like, we're on the Boomer Bunker. It's like, all right, hey, go over there and go watch Aaron start running his mouth. So I just said, fuck it, let's start rocking and rolling early today. And I actually remembered to start the recording before the stream started, so that's a good thing. And, so thank you, Cody, for the heads up that the sound is actually coming through nice and clear tonight and doesn't sound like it did last week where we had to do take 2 and I had to restart the stream because I sounded like a fucking bumblebee getting a blowjob. So that's progress in the right direction, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to move this here real quick. Just because that's bothering me. Okay. Not that it shouldn't matter that much, but I just don't like where the logo's positioned in relation to my head and in relation to the camera, because since I moved everything and the setup changed a little bit, now my head's needs to be more this way to be centered, and it's not because the microphone's over here. And why did it not move? God damn it. There we go. Now it's moved. I had to click the button. Silly Aaron. But yeah, so anyway, another interesting week, another, can't really call it status quo. Let's see. Billy is asking, Cody, is the mic volume good on his end? Well, I hope it's coming through good. If I'm really quiet, let me know so I can adjust whatever. Yeah, according to the mixer, it's turned up. If I'm quiet, you guys need to let me know, because fuck a doodle. All right, I'm literally on the mixer pretty much as high as I'm going to crank it because I don't like getting distortion and feedback. I apologize if it's a bit quiet on the broadcast end, guys. It's weird. Let's see. It says signal health is excellent. Keyframe interval is high, which I don't know what that means. I'll have to figure that out later on down the line here. Apologize. I developed a bit of a tickle in my throat today, and I don't understand why. I just know it's annoying me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this audio level. It's weird. Okay, well, Steve says it sounds okay there, so I'm going to just have to friggin' hope this comes out good in the wash. All right, well, let's see. We're, 2.5 minutes in? I'm completely fucking derailed now. That's what I get for not having anything planned. Yeah, it's been a hell of a fucking week in terms of the world going crazy. Since apparently I haven't made this abundantly clear. I mean, I feel like a lot of you guys know this already, but I am currently seeking employment. I'm only adding this because one of my listeners that I speak to outside of the environs of the podcast that I was talking to last week, a friend of mine, my buddy B Word, mentioned that he was completely caught off guard because I said something to him when we were having a meme conversation, and I said, something about, if I had to go to work right now, I'd be paid. I don't even remember what I said, but he was like, "What? You don't have a job?" And so apparently, I haven't made that abundantly clear leading up to this. Just other than my little backhanded, casual comments during the episodes. Yeah, so I am currently seeking employment, actively seeking employment. I don't do unemployed. I don't do sitting around not working and not, taking care of business. So that has actually been my primary focus for the last couple of weeks. I didn't get let go for any nefarious reasons. Didn't get any. Just I don't. In case anybody's curious, it wasn't like anything I did. It was just company had to make cuts. Had to do workforce reduction, and unfortunately, it was my turn to get workforce reduced. So that has actually been my primary focus for the last week or so. So I'm not nearly as well organized as somebody who doesn't actually have a day job to be at the moment. You'd think I'd actually really be focusing on the pod and getting shit ready. And I haven't been. Sorry. My priority is getting income coming in. So sorry, I've just developed a tickle in my throat in the last hour. It's driving me nuts. But I do have thoughts. The world is still going crazy. Things are still dumb. Things are still... it is what it is. The world's going to do what the world's going to do, and it's not going to stop or change course because of what's going on in my life. And I'm not delusional enough to think I matter to anybody to that degree outside of my immediate family, where what happens in my life is going to alter anybody's fucking day. This is a lot of roundabout babbling for me to say. I don't have prepared notes today. But I do have thoughts, and there have been some things that have been going on, and I'm going to talk about it. And this is going to be one of those episodes, I think, where I'm going to wind up saying some things that is probably going to irritate a few of the regular listeners. Again, by now, if you're a regular listener, you should probably know that where I stand on things is not going to be impacted by whether or not I get somebody's panties in a fucking twist, because at the end of the day, it's how I feel. It's like the little ditties that I was playing before I started the stream say. I'm going to say what I got to say, and if you don't like it, too fucking bad. Sometimes it's opinions. More often than not, it's verifiable facts and truths. And whether you like it or not, too fucking bad, again. And so it's how I'm going to segue into the first thing I actually have on my mind right now, which is somebody needs to take away Trump's fucking phone. I'm gonna start big. I'm going right into it. This motherfucker is out here making his Truth Social posts like it was, the last season again, all of a sudden, where we're in season Trump 2.0, and he was handling himself so much better for a little while, and now it's out there, and he's just again attacking everybody that he has any kind of fucking issue with. Making his 3 a.m. social media posts. It's like, yeah, I understand you probably got some sort of fucking bladder issues going on, or your fucking prostate's the size of a fucking coconut, and you're up taking a piss at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're 70 some years old, and that's just what old fucks do at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't need to get on Twitter and vent your fucking colon while you're venting your fucking bladder, okay? So maybe pump the brakes, sit back a little bit, fucking relax, try and calm the fuck down. I've never been diehard allegiance to Donald Trump. I've never been like a professed MAGA person, which is something I've brought up multiple times, talking about how leftists immediately want to go to, dude, you're a maggot. You're like all the other fucking right wingers. That partisan, weak-minded bullshit that says, since I don't agree with you, I must automatically fall into whatever category you lump everybody who doesn't agree with you into. This is going to be a prime instance of, I don't agree with what this fucking clown is doing. Primarily in the fact that his legions of loyal fucking followers are so quick to try and villainize, demonize, ostracize. They're basically doing all of the shit that they bitched about the fucking leftists doing for the last 4 years. About oh, well, this person needs to be primary. That person's disloyal. And they're going after Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Those are the two current targets. Massie's pretty much always had Trump's crosshairs on him, which is fucking stupid. He's literally the most constitutionally committed individual in fucking Congress. His priorities are America first, period. And every time he takes an America first stance or anything that is actually constitutional or based on the ideals that Trump basically ran on and got all the libertarian votes, because whether or not he wants to admit it, without him, he wouldn't have fucking won. That's the end of the day. It doesn't matter how much of a margin he had. Having people that were in the center that could have abstained from voting tilted the balance for this fucking guy. And he doesn't want to acknowledge that, because a huge percentage of the things he campaigned on, I mean, he's kept a lot of his campaign promises, but not a lot of the ones that really mattered to the people that were swing votes for him. He's been very tepid on 2A issues. He's been, he's really doubling down on all this tariff nonsense, which, I mean, it serves a purpose to a certain extent. When you're doing reciprocal tariffs with countries that are tariffing the shit out of everything that comes from America, I can understand using that as leverage for bargaining and negotiating, but at the end of the day, they're continuing Biden-era spending with all these CRs. They haven't passed a fucking new budget. They haven't cut any spending. We're still deficit spending to the tune of several $1 trillion a year. I mean, I think we have like $5 trillion in tax income right now, and they're spending $7.3 trillion or something like that annually. So they haven't cut any government spending, like, at all. Yes, they got rid of USAID, which is a massive money laundering scheme writ large. Everybody that's involved with USAID was fucking dirty. I don't care how you want to say it. That's the truth of the matter. So yeah, they've been doing good things. Turning the military back into fucking war fighters instead of fucking emotional support clowns is a good look. Putting Pete Hegseth in charge of the military was a good idea. He's a guy that wants to turn them back into a lethal fighting force, not a community where people can feel embraced, understood, and seen. Getting fat generals out of the fucking ranks is not a bad thing. You know who complains about it? Fat fucking generals. It's getting fucking mentally imbalanced retards who don't know what gender they are out of service for mental ineptitude and being unfit is a good idea, because you don't want warm, fuzzy, well-loved fucking war fighters in your military. You want lethal motherfuckers, preferably a little unhinged. I mean, I want good old boys with fucking room temperature IQs to be doing the fucking actual grunt work fighting. But I want people that are competent and understand how war works doing the leading, not people that are gender confused, the guys in dresses and fat fucks who are too just inept and don't care enough about being lethal themselves to actually pass the basic standards they are enforcing upon everybody else. So I like what Hegseth's been doing. I'm fine with that. But like I said, this nonsense where every time somebody says, I don't agree with what Trump's doing, we're going to, I'm going to take a stand against him. And then he starts trying to unleash his fucking hordes on him. And it's not the first time he's gone after Massie, which is, it comes as no surprise to anybody who's been paying attention. He did it all the last term, too. And as I've said before, Massie voted with the Republicans 91% of the fucking time. With Trump's agenda, 91% of the fucking time. But since he's not being a full-on, the sun shines out of the Donald's ass loyalist about every fucking thing, and he's calling out things he has a fucking problem with. Oh, he's terrible. He's the worst representative ever. He's going to be primaried by this guy. This guy's huge. He's great. He's got my full endorsement. Fuck Donnie, get over your fucking self. You're not a golden god. You're not fucking beyond reproach. You're not beyond questioning. You haven't delivered on a whole bunch of critical issues you make campaign promises about. Your 2A stances are garbage. You appointed Pam Bondi, who is an absolute trash individual when it comes to the Second Amendment. They are still defending the NFA, which should be repealed and completely removed. They turned the tax down to zero. The tax was the justification for the existence of the bill. All that was doing was trying to prevent American citizens from exercising their constitutionally defended rights through financial means. It was a way to suppress poor fucking people. And they dropped the tax down to zero. the NFA still exists. It shouldn't fucking exist. It needs to go the fuck away. But you've got the fucking White House, while trying to claim to be the strongest two-way administration ever, defending this bullshit instead of coming out and in court saying, you know what, they're right, it needs to go away, so the Supreme Court could justify just doing away with it, which is going to happen at some point. It's got to happen because it's an infringement on the Constitution. And if they don't fix it before they lose control of the House and the Senate, which is going to happen, especially the way the fucking Republicans are performing, the Democrats are just going to turn around and adjust the tax rates on the NFA items to something that's absolutely untenable for anyone that's not already completely fucking wealthy enough to hire private security. It's a stupid fucking move by the Republicans, and they're trying to beat their chests like they fucking did something, and they didn't. And it's a disappointment. And instead of okay, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked here. That Billy G said he had some fun with anti-Trump protesters over the weekend because they didn't like the stickers on his truck. I can fucking imagine, my friend. And like I said, it's not that I'm anti-Trump, because I'm fine with a lot of what he's doing. You know, I mean, I love that ICE is going out there and doing their thing. I love that they're, trying to finally secure this country. I love a lot of what he's done. I don't love the fact that he hasn't delivered on some of the shit. I don't love the way he's been handling the Epstein case. He campaigned on, we're going to get this information out. Cash was out there fucking stumping before he got appointed, saying this is all going to be made public. Bongino was like, we're going to get this information out and let the chips fall where they fucking may. Well, that's the feelings of a huge percentage of the country, is we want to see the list. We don't care if people from our side are on it. We want to know who these garbage human beings were, and we want the chips to fall where they may. We want them to answer for their fucking actions. Without arrests, they could release the list tomorrow. If nobody goes to prison, if nobody winds up in a fucking wood chipper over this shit, it means nothing. Donnie sitting there trying to say, oh, well, this is all Democrat distraction, doesn't help the case any. Saying just ignore it and move on was the wrong fucking look. And I'm willing to say that because I'm not some sycophantic asshole who thinks the sun shines out of his Cheeto-dusted ass. I'm a grumpy son of a bitch. I have an axe to grind. I got time to kill, and I'm going to sit around and do these silly things. And yeah, holding him to task, holding him to account is what should be done. This is what we should expect from all of our politicians. I don't know where in this country we got the fucking idea that somehow these people were above us. They're supposed to answer to us, and at some point we let them start making the rules for how they had to behave, and that's when shit went off the fucking rails. We need to, as a population, start demanding better executions. Yes, Ken, your wife should like that picture on the wall behind me. It's a sexy fucking picture. Are you talking about the Ren and Stimpy one, or actually, no, I'm looking at the. Now you can't really see here. We're gonna do this. I know which one you're talking about. I'm just making a funny, but yeah, we'll cut off the bottom half of my face for a couple seconds for comedic effect. Yeah. Anyway. Anywho's, it's quality podcast material content right there, but yeah. Where was I now? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I have no problem holding the Trump administration to account for the way they're fucking mishandling the fucking ball on this thing. And now, the thing that really pisses me off about the whole situation is we get these fucking clowns who are going to come out and try and say, oh, well, Donnie's playing 5D chess. Now the Democrats are demanding the release of the list because this morning, at least this is when I saw it, he might have made the comment last night at the Post, but this morning while I was at the gym, I saw that he had made a comment saying that, just release the list already. Republicans need to do this and get it over with so we can start focusing on making America great again. And his usual spiel. And the fucking defenders and the apologists come out of the woodwork. Oh, see, he was playing 5D chess all along. Now if they don't release the list, the Democrats have to admit that it's a problem for them, because he said he wants it released. To which I would say, and again, this is just me being a cynical piece of shit, I guess, because the way I look at the world, this is how I see things. Maybe Don's saying that because he knows the Dems are going to fucking block it. I mean, color me cynical. Do I think he's on the list? No, I fucking don't. I've already said this numerous times. I don't think he did anything bad with Jeffrey Epstein and kids on the fucking island, because if he had, they would have leaked it. They were trying everything in the book, up to and including shooting at the motherfucker to stop him from getting back in the White House. If they had damning evidence on him, it would have come out. Period. Do I believe he's acting to protect financial backers, interest, friends, assets? More than likely, yes. Do I believe that he's playing 5D chess to get the Democrats to decide to release the list and then burn their own fucking huts to the ground in the process? No, I don't. It's not that I, don't think he's capable or whatever else people are going to come at me trying to say. I don't think that's the case, because they're not in a position where they're willing to make that sacrifice just to get him. You want proof of it? Look at it. Tim Burchett, who's actually on the way to becoming on my list of people I don't fucking hate in D.C., which is a very short fucking list. He put out a movement, a motion to release all the files in their entirety, and it was blocked by Biden appointed judges. It's utterly retarded, because not a single yammering, screaming leftist moron out there has even acknowledged that fact. They're still trying to say they're blaming him. And then some emails were leaked where Jeffrey Epstein was talking about Donald Trump, and every leftist yammering head was like, see, look, he's on the list because there's emails, and they showed that he was talking about him. Epstein had nothing but negative shit to say about Donald Trump, saying he was a terrible person, saying he was a piece of shit, saying he didn't like him, saying he hated the fucking guy. Nothing in that is a detraction on Trump as far as I'm concerned. A guy like Jeffrey Epstein thinking you're a piece of shit is an endorsement as far as I'm concerned. If Jeffrey Epstein ever met me, not that he would, because I'm a poor and I don't travel in circles he would ever have given a shit about, but he would have hated my fucking guts, probably because I would have at least been insulting, and if not more so, taken a shot at the motherfucker, depending on the situation. So yeah, I mean, the fucking dumb on both sides of the aisle on this one is just it's fucking exhausting. It's very much retarded. I don't know how else to put it. I'm of the mindset the list is probably so compromised at this point. It's been in and out of the hands of so many fucking people who had vested interests in trying to keep certain information out, to protect certain individuals. I fully believe that Epstein was probably a CIA asset and a Mossad asset. I'm sure they shared the blackmail materials on the rich and influential in this fucking country. Just like I'm sure that they fucking took all the blackmail material that Diddy had stored up and they put that somewhere too. Why? Because Diddy's not rotting in fucking, in a solitary cell for the rest of his fucking life. Despite overwhelming evidence that made it to the public eye. That motherfucker's not in prison either. It's ridiculous to me. And there was a time where saying this kind of shit would have made me feel like some sort of conspiracy-minded asshole. But these days, it just seems too fucking obvious to deal with. They're not even fucking trying to make the conspiracies convincing anymore. And it's frustrating to me. And, and then we've got more of the same shit. I mean, what else? There was... Mondami's already back to saying, hey, give me more money because none of the free shit I promised you is actually going to happen, which is fucking irritating. I don't like him. For anybody who's unclear on the matter, I think New York deserves exactly what they're going to get for having elected that worthless sack of shit. And I'm actually looking forward to the show when the fucking place burns. Excuse me. God damn it. Okay. Apologies, I just got a notification, and it was not good news. Okay, well, we're going to just minimize that over there. Let's see. I've lost my train of thought now. I am sorry, guys. I don't know. Somebody in the chat say something to get me inspired. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in a position where it's kind of like like I said, I was not super well prepared for tonight. I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of subjects, but unfortunately, my brain's not completely hitting all the gears today. The whole Trump thing was actually the big at the forefront of my mind because that was the first thing I saw when I was at the gym this morning. Because I did something stupid and unnecessary, I went to the gym early as fuck this morning because I was like, hey, I need to reestablish some routines. I need to get back into my... No, the fuck I don't. I did not sleep well, and then I went to the gym anyway because I was going to meet my buddy, and he didn't wind up showing because he's been having issues with his knees, and... but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, I'm just brain fogging it and trying to think. I should have had some fucking notes ready. No, Cody, I was not saying that you're awesome. I mean, you're pretty all right. But I was not. I know I wasn't sitting around blowing smoke up your ass. There's okay, Josh. That's later. I actually do have a note to do that this week, but I have to address this. Quick crock pot recipe of the week. Crock pots are, by their definition, not a quick recipe. I mean, they're easy to throw together. Yes, the recipe I have for you guys is going to be pretty simple, but by definition, they are not quick recipes. They are slow cooker recipes. Yuck, 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 yuck. Okay, so let's see. We've got getting some great topics out of the chat here. This is you guys. New music sucks from Ken. You're right. New music does suck. Let's see. Drive old cars, be a man. I agree with that. I prefer older cars. Even my current old cars are not as old as I would like because I can't do everything I used to do to them. I prefer older cars where everything was, you didn't have to have a fucking degree in specialized equipment to work on them. Let's see. Plaskett and the Epstein texts. Yeah, that's a good one, Steve. I wish my brain was working better. Because I'm having trouble pulling any of the actual content of the text to the forethought of my mind at the moment. Again, other than the fact that Epstein didn't like Donnie, and that's the big thing I remember from those emails and texts. Let's see. Boomer Bob asks, have I ever plucked my eyebrows? Just noticed a rogue white hair in my eyebrows. Yeah, I actually get those rogue white ones every once in a while too, because as you can tell by looking at the beard, I'm not really going gray. It's just salt and pepper. I mean, there's white and there's brown, and when you mix it together, it looks gray. But yeah, I occasionally get a stray white hair in my eyebrow. Let's see. Ken brings up a point. More people live in the city of Chicago than the whole state of Wisconsin. Yeah, that's true. That brings me back into grounded, rational thought here for a couple minutes. So I'm going to go off for a couple minutes about something. It's not just you, Bob. Everybody has said that my volume is low, and I don't know why, because I've got the sound on my mixer cranked all the way up and the sound on the inputs cranked all the way up on the computer. I thought we were having a good no technical issues kind of day, but apparently we're not, so I'm going to have to figure that out. But I'm not going to do it midstream. It would take Bob 3 months to grow the stubble I have. Yeah, this is, what's today, the 17th, so this is 2 weeks of not shaving. So, yeah. If you want to see what I actually look like, you can go to YouTube and catch the replay of this live stream if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast. The audio version will probably actually wind up being too loud since I do have the soundboard cranked all the way up. So I've noticed Zoom seems to record louder than sometimes goes into the stream, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see. So yes, Josh acknowledged he was guilty of a dad joke. No, it was a fantastic dad joke. I'm guilty of not picking it up. But anyway, back to what I was saying that was inspired by Ken's comment that more people live in the city of Chicago than live in the whole state of Wisconsin. So yeah, something that is going on in Chicago right now, and there was a press conference about it this morning, and Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is an absolute fucking retard, I've said this before, and this is local to me, so it's more relevant than it probably is to most of the people listening to this, but Brandon Johnson was selected by the CTU. He is a fucking meat puppet that is controlled by the teachers union in Chicago. The teachers union, now you may ask, how do they have that much power? Why do they have that much power? Why are they in that position? approximately 50% of all the taxes collected by the city of Chicago go directly to the CTU. They were ordered to do an audit 5 years ago. They haven't submitted yet. Findings have shown that they have a property in Mexico that is listed as a Chicago Teachers Union asset as a recording studio. Now, if you look it up on Google Earth, you put in the address. I don't actually have it. These are one of those things I should have queued up for the stream, but I don't. The property's got a lovely pool. It's a vacation villa, but at the same time, like I said, it's listed. Why does the fucking Chicago Teachers Union need a recording studio in Mexico? And it was like $175,000 that the CTU spent on this property. It's utterly fucking retarded. And now Brandon Johnson, the conference this morning, he was talking about how a proposal he's putting forward to increase the taxes on corporations, to put a head tax on everything, to tax entertainment, to tax internet access, to tax social media access. Brandon Johnson is a fucking commie retard. Now, people may argue that point. Oh, well, no, this, that, and the other. He's a socialist. He believes the government should be paying for things for poor people by taking things from rich people. He has proposed some of the most progressive, and I'm using heavy fucking air quotes because they're communistic bullshit, tax structures in the fucking country. The per capita tax for Illinois citizens is already the highest in the country. We are taxed on fucking everything by living here. The CTU has come out in force to badmouth all the fucking Chicago board who voted overwhelmingly against Brandon Johnson's tax proposal that would have literally finished driving that last nail into the fucking coffin of the city of Chicago. Because his argument is that it's only going out to tax the super wealthy and the millionaires that live in Chicago and the billionaires that live in Chicago and their holdings and their assets. And any company that wants to do business in the city of Chicago can afford to give a little bit extra and cut into their profits because, that's more important than, responsible spending or getting the audits from the fucking people that are supposed to be explaining where all this fucking money is going to. Because all the people in Chicago got their property tax statements this last week, and they were across the board thousands of dollars higher. I mean, people in the fucking ghetto, the people that manage to have like generational homes in the fucking slums, neighborhoods where you will get shot at for wearing the wrong outfit or just because you in the wrong place when the other motherfuckers were getting shot at. Because let's face it, Chicago gangbangers, they don't fucking aim. They are terrible with fucking firearms. So this is all the aldermen on the board. It's 35 alderpersons on 35 districts in the city of Chicago. Out of the 35, the vote was 25-10 against the mayor's budget. This is very much out of precedence. Even when they had fucking Beetlejuice, the aldermen generally stayed in line. You get a couple dissenting votes when she was doing something particularly egregious, but 25-10, this motherfucker is overwhelmingly unpopular. The CTU immediately comes out attacking all the aldermen that voted against his fucking bill, saying, well, what's your solution to make sure the city gets financed? The CTU hasn't once talked about why they haven't delivered the audit they were ordered to deliver 5 fucking years ago. They haven't once addressed why they are operating so many schools at under 40% capacity and asking for more money instead of, condensing and solidifying and shutting down and selling off these buildings so they don't have so much wasted fucking space. They just keep saying we need more money coming in. Brandon Johnson, being a fucking brain-dead retard who is controlled by the CTU, is dancing at to the tune that is put forward by his fucking masters. And, and unfortunately for them, he's a fucking retard. He cannot defend any of his positions without blaming racism or fucking saying it's because he's a black man. I mean, the number of times he has brought up his pigmentation in relationship that had nothing to do with the fucking question he was asked. He gets defensive. He evades. He doesn't answer because he's a fucking retard. He can't think on his feet. There's a reason he's holding a 6% approval rating in the fucking city of Chicago. He has done something Democrats have not managed to do in decades, something the Republicans haven't managed to do in 100 fucking years, and turned the fucking poor people of Chicago against the left. It's a ridiculous thing to have to see. Kate, I would love to start over just for you. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. So we're going to start out as we do by saying to Iceman Jason, Javier, Fitz, McShane, El Jefe, El Devil, and El Morte, to the Billy G, to Walt from the B-Raw Podcast, to Kate, the Duchess of New Jersey, to George Fonts of the World Blaze Podcast, and to our most recent supporter. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? You want me to start over? No. I'm sorry. That was... and to our most recent supporter, Josh. I literally said everybody except Josh. I feel like a tool bag. So, yeah, Josh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. You bought my new glasses. I'm not wearing them yet because they're not here. But, yeah, thanks for signing up, man. Anyway, fuck. Yeah, now I'm completely derailed because I tried to make a funny. I'm not playing the songs again, Cody. You can have your ego stroked later. Sodi. Anyway, yeah, Sodi, sponsor me. I'm almost out, and I don't have money to order more. Let's see. God damn it! Now Josh is doing it, or John's doing it too. I can't even talk now. I got Jamingoitis. All of a sudden, I can't fucking control my mouth. For shit's sakes. Anyway, welcome to the chat, John and Kate. John, I'm surprised to see you here. Thanks for coming, brother. Appreciate the support. Anyway, what was it? Oh yeah, so the Hershey Kiss looking motherfucker, Brandon Johnson. And I say that because have you ever looked at his fucking hair? I try not to acknowledge the guy too fucking much, but yeah, the top of his head looks just like an unwrapped Hershey Kiss. It infuriates me. I don't know how you can have as much money as that worthless sack of fuck has and not have somebody around you who's going to tell you how stupid that fucking looks. Realistic. I mean, I mean, I loathe pretty much everything about him, but at the same time, I don't know why that bothers me so fucking much, but it really does. It bothers me anytime I see rich people that look like shit. It's retarded to me that you don't have. I mean, that tells me you don't have any real fucking friends. Because if you had a real friend, they'd be dragging you for that kind of shit. But instead, you got a bunch of people around you that tell you, "Oh yeah, no, you're doing great, boss." And then you go out and you look like an absolute fucking tool bag, and everybody laughs at you behind your back. So, anyway, okay. So now I'm gonna, again, because I don't have a whole lot of good notes today, I'm gonna go address the chat some more here. Ken has asked, well, how can a guy support the show? A guy can support the show by going to buymeacoffee/ I had to say it pod, or by going to Patreon I had to say it podcast and signing up to be a supporter of the show. Or you can go to ihadtosayitpodcast.com and click on the Give Me Money page because I'm a retard and I think that's funny. So that's what I named the page for signing up for the donor links. And that's also how you get to the merchandise shop, which I do not make a fucking nickel from because I want stuff to be affordable. I want Jason to get what he needs out of it. So that'll take you to horribledesigns.com / I had to say it podcast, which will take you to the I had to say it podcast merch page, which has a couple of designs on there that you can get now. I do have some new ones that I want Jason to start slapping on some shit once he's situated in his new place. I'm not going to ask him to worry about my dumbass show that hasn't netted him anything because none of y'all motherfuckers have bought anything. But I love you anyway. And as long as I'm out here ranting and raving, if I have your address, I will send you stickers and stuff. Josh, I don't believe I have your address, so if you want to send me a DM or whatever, I did say when you signed up that you should let me know so I can get you access to all the subscriber shit. But yeah, so I've got stickers, I've got stuff. You can buy big stickers from Jason. I got little stickers. The free stickers are little. The big stickers you got to pay for because they're big. And there will be new designs coming when Jason tells me he's ready. So, no, Cody, I do not have a gorilla mask for sale. I probably could look into something like that, but I don't think there's a huge demand. Seeing as I can't sell a fucking coffee cup, why am I going to spend money having a custom-made mask? If I could get my fucking 3D printers to work right, I could do some stuff with that, but they keep giving me problems. So, anyway, yeah, so there's that. And then as long as I'm doing plugs, go to clockamcrat.coffee and get some Clockham Craft Coffee. They have multiple flavors, whether it's dark roast, light roast, half calf, decaf, K-cups. They have all kinds of good shit. It's good coffee made by good people, small batch roasted, made to order. ClockhamCraft.coffee. It's a phenomenal shit. Wow, I'm taking a lot of flack here. Let's see. Bruce has joined the chat. Bruce says, "How about those neat stickers?" Yeah, that's. We do have stickers. Cody says, "I'm." The Chef Aaron recipe page is there. I must have forgotten to click publish. I'll go do that after after I get done editing the episode. So it'll be up tonight ish with the first recipe on it, which will be the recipe we're gonna do at the end of the show tonight. No, Bruce, I don't have boxers. You'll have to talk to Jason. He's my merch guy. If he gets boxers in the shop, then you can have boxers with the gorilla on them. And which, if that's what you're into, I mean, fuck, who am I to judge? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. All I do is fucking judge. That's right. I didn't want to step out of character there for a minute. Sorry, my throat is just very dry today for some reason. Anyway, so talked about Trump, talked about the tweets, talked about Brandon Johnson's Tootsie Roll shaped, or not Tootsie Roll, but Hershey's Kiss shaped head, which, again, I know it's petty, I know it's juvenile, I know it does not have anything to do with his utter ineptitude as a fucking civil servant, but it bothers me. I just want to go up and just push it down so it's a little flat. Fucking twat. I hate that fucking guy. Wow, I'm just noticing how severe the lag is based on where I drank as opposed to what I'm saying. Wow, you guys are like a full minute almost behind. Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you put out riveting content. You just talk too fast for the fucking camera to keep up. But, oh, Billy. Actually, Billy, I like that one. A small stuffed gorilla with a push button that spouts out a rant whenever you push it. That would be great. Or just, me going, "Stop touching me. What are you doing? Quit squeezing it. Don't touch that. Hey, that is not a toy." That would be great. We're getting some fucking phenomenal merch ideas in the chat here. Jason, you should pop back over and look at these because I'm not going to sit here and talk about them. And I guarantee this part's not winding up in the audio episode. I feel like this week's going to be a short episode in terms of what winds up on the stream or what winds up on the podcast as opposed to the stream here. Because since I'm not actually really much of a streamer, this is the live recording of my podcast episodes. And that's about it. John and I were talking about this. And actually, you know what? I want to give a special thank you to John. And it's not just because he's in the chat here, but I was planning on doing this. But again, my not smart was kind of catching up with me. John has been like, if you're not listening to the Boomer Bunker, which I know everybody in the chat is, so I'm not overselling this here. But, I'm not trying to blow smoke. I'm not kissing anybody's ass. But John has been helping me a whole lot the last couple of days with some shit I've been having to deal with, and he's helping me, try and make the show better for you fucks. So I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that real quick and let him know that I really do appreciate it. I'm taking time out of his day to put up with my nonsense. So thank you very much, John. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. It should say he's not your dad. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. Bruce says gorilla dog toys. I'm sure they probably already exist. Let's see. Don't touch me, my no-no square. Yeah, that would actually be a good one for a squeeze gorilla to say. Don't touch my no-no square. Yes, John Domingo is the best kept secret in podcasting. Anyway, so yeah, now I got to come up with something ignorant because I got to offset that actually being human for a minute there. I don't know what the fuck got into me. I must be tired. I got being all like nice and shit. What the fuck? Nobody comes here for that. Yeah, no, Billy. I think you would appreciate John and Kate. They're phenomenal. It's a very fun show. It's a good time. Like I said, there are kind of people. Yeah, because yeah. Fuck, I lost my train of thought again. I'm trying to avoid going into the recipe thing too much here yet because I feel like there should be something else that I was going to talk about, and my brain is not braining real good. So let's pop up my other things here, see if there was something else. All right. Well, I didn't see the thing I was looking for to try and make me remember what I was going to do. But here's, since you guys got to stare at the side of my head for 30 seconds, I did just see a tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that they've started sending pizzas and shit to her address, and now that she's been doxxed. I would just like to go out on a limb and say this is exactly what I was talking about how the fucking far right is acting just like the left. It's utterly fucking retarded. Be better. God damn it. It's hard to claim the high ground when you're acting like a bunch of fucking douche canoes. But there's a button over here. It doesn't do anything. Okay. Cody, stop trying to make fetch a thing. Anyway, yeah. So, kind of to circle back around now that something else I'm thinking of because I opened my Twitter feed for 30 seconds. I've been seeing a lot of things because I get a lot of bullshit on my feed from leftist accounts and from righties that are trying to drag the left. And one of the things I saw is they're floating that AOC says a lot of MAGA people are talking about they want democratic socialism, and they're asking her questions. If you believe that, I got a fucking nice chunk of beachfront property in New Mexico I'd like to sell you. So, yeah, that's dumb. Don't nobody believes you. Shut the fuck up. Go back to fucking up drinks. And that's my 2 pennies on AOC. She irritates me. She is so fucking dumb. It's contagious. She's surrounded by fucking drooling, weak-minded beta cucks that are fucking just soy-fed, low testosterone. If I'm nice to the fucking big booty Latina chick, maybe she'll notice me. Fucking weak-ass, pathetic, failed clowns. And you ever notice how all these leftist motherfuckers who are talking about how rich white guys are the problem are all married to rich white guys? You got AOC and Ilhan Omar and Don Lemon, and they're all just a bunch of worthless fucking cunts. Every last one of them. I fucking hate them. So, okay, yeah, I'm opening up to the chat, which I already did really because Ken was talking about cars and got me going off on Chicago for a few minutes. Classic cars, yes. Let's see. I did actually have somebody, in my outside of the internet life, tell me that I should see about getting custom I had to say it made Burger King crowns, and I was like, yeah, but if it's an I had to say it crown, it's not a Burger King crown, so it stops being funny. Not that I wouldn't necessarily do it, because let's face it, I am a giant man child. I do actually have a Burger King crown hanging up right on the wall with all my hats. It's not as noticeable as a Burger King crown because it's a Halloween crown. Because last time I went to Burger King and asked for one, it was right before Halloween, and that's what they gave me. Let's see. All right, so we do have some conversation in the chat now here. Cody Wiley wants to know, what is worse, Brandon Johnson or AOC? Depends on what metric we're looking at. Worse for the country, AOC, because she has a bigger platform, more people following her, weak-minded simps that are like, ooh, big booty, big titty, big fucking teeth, because I can't stand that cunt. I mean, I understand the base level, like, yeah, when she was young, she's about 2 tortillas away from blowing the fuck up any day now, which happens with a lot of Latin females. It's just the nature of the beast. And me, I don't fucking care. Yeah, okay, so she had a decent frame on her. She's still a fucking retard. call me crazy. I could never get past that. I'm hung up on those things. If you're a fucking mouth-breathing idiot, I don't care what you fucking look like. Beyond that, like I said, Brandon is outside of Chicago. He's fucking useless. He is only getting anywhere. Yes, Cody, he's going to be a torta, or she's going to be a torta. But yeah, in terms of him, no, he is not any kind of a national threat. He's going to finish fucking Chicago into the fucking ground. He's going to get the first fucking right-leaning mayor elected in fucking 110 years, and then they'll be done with him. He's going to be cast to the side because he's fucking useless. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, Billy's going on a cruise in April, buying the drink package. Any advice? Pace yourself. I mean, the drink package to me, it's been years since I've looked at anything like this because, you know, my wife's not big on traveling, and so that means subsequently I'm not big on traveling. When I was younger, I was more interested in these things. When I was younger, also for me, a drink package made sense because I drank like a food service professional from fucking Wisconsin, which is to say, you know, fucking alcoholics would look at me and go, "Mate, dude, man, maybe you should slow down a little bit." Generally, I assume if you're buying the drink package, if it's anything like it used to be, the best way to utilize that is, like I said, pace yourself. Go throughout the day. Don't get fucking shit wrecked at like noon, because then you're passed out by 1 o'clock. You miss the entirety of the trip. Like last time I looked, they actually had different tiers of packages. They had you could drink, you know, this many drinks a day, or you could drink at these locations, or you could drink everywhere on the boat as much as you wanted, which was the high-end package, which was the last one I thought about buying because, like I said, at the time I was a functional alcoholic, and I was drinking like a liter of vodka a day, not being on vacation. So the idea of being on a cruise for 4 days just was like, yeah, I'm going to get completely shit-wrecked all fucking day and stay that way. But as we are older and wiser now, I'm assuming you're just going to want to pace yourself, you know, hydrate for every cocktail you have. Make sure you chase it with something that'll rehydrate you, be that water or juice or whatever. Avoid mixers like the fucking plague because they cause hangovers. But yeah, you know, margarita here, cocktail there. I like I said, as long as it makes sense in terms of like how big of a drinker are you? It's a very personal choice because I'm a cheap bastard and I'm an alcoholic. So when you combine those two factors together, for me the drink package makes sense. But I'm like I said, I'm going to pace myself throughout the day, and I'm still going to get my values worth out of it because that's how my brain works, and I tend to stick to like whiskey and ice. So you know, I'll follow that with a glass of water or a Gatorade or a whatever, something with some electrolytes in it, or you know, water with lime juice and a shot of salt. It's the key is to make sure you're getting your money's worth out of it, where it's not like, well, I bought the drink package and I only had a drink with dinner once a week or once a night. You know, then don't buy the drink package. But yeah, no, like I said, you're lounging in the sun. It's important to have those cocktails and get your money's worth out of it. But it's also important to make sure you're staying hydrated, and a good multivitamin is a good cap around that. Replenish what the body loses, because you're going to be out in the sun sweating your ass off, so you're going to be losing shit faster than you would on a normal day. That's my wisdom for the matter. And I just realized I forgot the cookbook. And yeah, I was actually going to show you guys my handwritten cookbook that I was going to start giving you guys recipes out of. But since it's sitting in the kitchen, I'm just going to read off of the screen. Oh yeah, bloodies are good too because you got tomato juice and you got a little bit of salt in there, and you got Worcestershire sauce and fucking celery. I mean, or it actually depends on where you get your bloodies too. Sometimes now you can get a cheeseburger in your bloody, but yeah, pina coladas. I don't like coconut milk, so I don't drink pina coladas. Okay, yeah, that went sideways real quick. So anyway, I guess I will get to the crock pot recipe for today, and this is actually not pulling up now. Fuckadoodle. Well, I guess here, you guys sit here for a second. I will be right back. Talks amongst yourselves. I got to go get the notebook. Oof. All right, so I am back. So I'll show you guys this real quick. This is my cookbook. This is my recipe book. It's got stickers for podcasts all over it. Had this. This is actually version 2.0 because version 1.0 got stolen. Gotta find the recipe here real quick. All right, here's the first one. This is a real simple one. It's actually from had this recipe since I was a kid. It's one of my favorite sandwiches to make out of a crock pot. So to do this, I serve it on a Hawaiian roll, slice the Hawaiian rolls, toast them in real butter. Damn, sounds like Billy had an experience with rum just like I did. I didn't. I should have gone to the hospital. I didn't go to the hospital though. Yeah. John, you missed it. I told you you should have been paying better attention. I said I had to step away for a second to go get the cookbook because I can't get the fucking page to pull up. No, I don't. My Boomer Bunker sticker is on my sticker wall with all the rest of my stickers. The stickers on this book are the ones I have multiple of. You guys only sent me one fucking sticker, so it went on the wall first. That being said, okay, so like I was saying, this first recipe that's going to be the first recipe on the website, Crockpot Cooking, made simple. It's Kalua pork. Now, Kalua pork is this is a version to kind of simulate what you would get if you went to a luau in Hawaii. It was one of the first restaurants I worked at when I was a teenager. Was a big seller there. The guy who was the cook at the place, they can't really call him a chef. He refused to be called chef. Was this guy named Don. Don was the owner's dad. Salty old Marine or old Navy guy. He was a great guy. He wouldn't tell anybody how to make this Kalua pork recipe, which was utterly ridiculous just because of how simple it is. And then when I started working there, after I worked there for a little while, he taught me how to make this Kalua pig. It's his recipe. Like I said, super simple. It was one of the biggest sellers on the fucking menu. Carry gold if you can afford it. Regular gold if you're poor like me. Bruce. This harkens back to part of what we were talking about this morning on the Weathered View. Is Kerrygold actually worth the extra money? And yes, the fuck it is. I will never say it's not. I bought an entire case of it one time because I got a really good deal on it. Let's see. Yes, John, you could actually do this with venison. It would be a little gamey, but it's not I mean, I can send you something venison specific if you would like. I'm more than happy to do that for you. But this is actually using a pork butt. Now, the original recipe I have is done to scale to do 20 pounds. There's no reason you have to do 20 fucking pounds of pork unless you're in a commercial setting. We would do whole pork butts, like not like the ones you buy at the store, but like a full-size bone-in, basically a whole pork shoulder, and we would do them that way. But doing it this way with a regular boneless pork butt, or you can get the blade-in shoulder, the picnic hams, or pork butt, blade-in shoulder blade butts, any of which will actually work. I prefer to do it with the boneless butt or take the bone out myself if I'm doing it in a crock pot because it's easier. That's what it boils down to. It's going to be a lot simpler this way. So I scaled this down for you guys, but since I'm going out of my notes, I have to do this on the fly here. So you're going to start with 5 pounds of pork butt. You're going to dice it up into about 1-inch chunks, right? So you're going to take your 5 pounds of pork butt. You're going to take let's see, 2 pints and a quart. 4 cups. So it's going to be 1 cup of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of liquid smoke. Let's see, a 1/2 cup of pineapple juice, and it would be 1, 2. Sorry, I'm trying to math in my head, and it's going to be an eighth. Wait, no. An eighth of a cup plus plus a tablespoon. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of kosher salt. You rub the pork butts. You mix the soy sauce, liquid smoke, pineapple juice, and the kosher salt together. Mix it all up. Cover the diced pork butt. You put it in the crock pot on high for 3 hours. And then you're gonna let it. You're going to take the lid off after 3 hours, go through with either forks or a pair of tongs, or like I have the claws for shredding meat when you roast it or smoke it or cook it. You can use the claws too, and you shred it up, and then you put it on low for another 2 hours and let it simmer. It's a 13/17 of butter. Cody, I'm not going to make a PowerPoint slideshow for the recipe. The recipe is going to be available on the website, where all you got to do is go to the website and look at it. But thank you for the idea. That's just too much fucking work for me. I mean, I know I'm unemployed right now, but I'm actively trying to get another job, and I got an interview on Wednesday. I had 3 interviews last week. Something's going to pop before too long, and I'm going to have to go back to, having this as a hobby, not my primary source of what I do during the day. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so, after you've shredded up, put it back on low for another 2 hours. Or if you're not going to be there to watch it all day, like you're setting it in the morning before you go to work, do it on high for 4 hours, and then you'll just shred it when you get home, and it should be ready to fall apart and be delicious. Now, that's only the first part, though. So after your pork has been slow cooking all day, and like I said, it's really fucking simple. And everybody was like really into it. And I'm like, I don't understand what makes this Kahlua. What makes this like a luau pork? I'm like, it's literally soy sauce and pineapple juice. And he's like, well, when I was stationed in Hawaii, we would cook pigs in this, and we would slow cook them in a pit, and we would rub them down with salt, and then we would stuff them full of pineapple, and then so you get the pineapple flavor, and you get the salt, and you get the soy sauce, and this is as close as I could come to replicating it. And I said, yeah, but there's no garlic, there's no this, there's no that. And Don said to me, if you don't like it, write your own fucking recipe. And I said, okay, fair enough. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little stuffy here. So yeah, kind of honor of Don, this is Don's Kahlua pork recipe. Now, what I would do, this is where we airing it up. No, Josh, this is the crock pot. It's a slow shredded pork. Now, if I was doing it in any kind of other way, that'd be a different conversation. Like when if I do it in an oven with a whole butt, I will broil it to get a char on the outside, and then reduce the heat, and then cook it for multiple hours until it falls apart. But that's I drop it down to 275, and then 275 for like 5 hours, and then it, like I said, when you pull it out, it literally just falls off the bone and shreds in the pan. But anyway, to make it a little more Hawaiian-ish, when I serve it, what I do is like I said, I slice and toast off King's Hawaiian rolls in butter to get those nice and crispy, and then I will take, if I'm cooking it outside or inside, but I will take pineapple rings and then dust them, with a little fresh cracked salt and pepper, and then sear them off on the pan so they caramelize on the outside, and then put that on top of the fucking shredded pork on the roll, and then some thinly sliced red onions, and it makes a fantastic sandwich, and it's good. And like I said, that is a short and simple crock pot recipe that will yield you a very tasty but fairly neutral pulled pork, which, if you want to, you can fold it in with some barbecue sauce, or you can add. My personal suggestion for this one would actually be to get the Japanese barbecue sauce and mix that in with it. It comes out really well. And you don't have to add a whole lot because you've already got the soy sauce flavor to it, so you get that umami depth of flavor from the soy sauce. And you get a little sweetness from the pineapple juice to offset it. And yeah, so all things said and done, there's the first recipe of Aaron sticking a recipe at the end of every show. Like I said, I have to go fix the website, but they will be available on the website, and you can do with it as you will. Use it as a base. Don't use it at all. Tell me I suck. Whatever. I welcome all feedback. But, yeah, so that's this one. In terms of the venison, like I said, John, I'll kick you something over for that, like tonight sometime. After I get done with the editing and the posting and the fixing the website, and I'm probably going to be up till friggin' midnight working on this. But, all right, unless anybody else has anything they want me to touch base on or have opinions about, I guess I'm going to put a pin in it and say the thing and call it a night. Short episode tonight, only an hour. All right, yeah, that lag is something else. So, okay, so I guess we're going to say for now that's what I had to say.